Hi guys, it's Hannah from Trekitt and I'm here to talk to you today about Vango's Halo 300. It's a super easy to pitch 3-man tent with a rock solid structure. It's freestanding, which means that basically once you've got the poles in, if you need to move it, you can just pick it up and it holds its structure. It also comes with the inner pitch already attached to the outer, so if you pitch it for the first time in rubbish weather, then the inside's not going to get wet. It's been aimed at trekkers and group camping, and if you're just going to go out for the weekend for a spot of wild camping. So it makes sense to start from the top and work our way in. So let's start with the fly sheet. So it's made using a really strong and really durable 68 denier ripstop polyester. Now polyester is much more UV resistant and doesn't degrade as fast as nylon, which means that if you're pitching it for a few days while you're wild camping with your friends, then it's not going to affect the fabric as much. It's also got a hydrostatic head of 5,000 millimeters. The way that Vango do their waterproofing as well is it's not one big layer of waterproofing which kind of degrades quite quickly. It's layers and layers and layers built up, which means that it actually lasts much longer. So moving down to the entry points, we've got two really big generous doors either side of the tent. So you've got this nice big fly sheet door, which actually has a little lip just above it to allow the rain to kind of stop and run down the side. And then you've got a big mesh door on the inner with a nice big ventilation point to allow for really good airflow and for condensation to escape through the tent. And then it's got a big pocket on the side for that all to tuck in. While we're on the topic of condensation as well, condensation often occurs in tents because people batten down the hatches and you lose moisture all the time in the night through your sweat, through your breathing, and it just collects on the inside of the tent. And most people actually mistake that for leaking. So Vango have ensured that they've built in tons and tons of ventilation points into their tents to just allow all of that to escape. So as well as those inner mesh pockets, you've also got two big generous vents on either side just to allow for that constant airflow, and it's really important even in bad weather to keep those popped up. So just to elaborate on that, in really good weather you can keep the fly sheet open and zip up the inner mesh door, and that allows for really good airflow but also stops all the nasty midges from getting in the night. So picture the scene. You're in Pembroke, you've just been on the most beautiful coastal walk. It's warm and sunny, you've just eaten, and now you want to get under your lightweight sleeping bag and just watch the sunset from your tent. Well, this tent allows that really well. So if you take out this peg, you can roll all of this, all of it away. Look at that. Tuck him in super neatly. And then if you open this bad boy out, you have the perfect view. Perfect. The whole structure is held together by 3 equal length alloy poles. They're really good in high winds because they're super strong, super durable and really lightweight. The ease of having 3 equal length poles is that it's so easy to pitch. So I've actually got a tent which has 3 different poles, all different lengths, and all of the sleeves are color coded, which means that in really bad light or really bad weather, it's such a pain to put up and you just have arguments. So moving down to the guy lines, you've got these really strong reflective guy lines that attach at 2 points onto the pole sleeves. They come down to 1 point, allowing for equal tension along the pole, and then down to your peg. Along the middle, you've also got a lever lock system that has little teeth, which allows for the guy line to be moved up and down, lengthened and shortened depending on where you're pegging out. So this tent weighs in at 4.2 kilos, which means that if you don't want to carry it all in your own pack, you can really easily separate it. So someone can take the fly sheet, someone can take the poles and the pegs, and it means that if you separate it between 2 or 3 people, you're carrying between 1.5 and 2 kilos each, which makes it much more manageable. They also state that the pitch time is 12 minutes with a bit of practice, but Harry and I reckon that we've just done it in about 8. So see if you can beat our time. So on a day like today, it's super hot and it's super dry. So it doesn't matter if we keep our packs and our boots in the porch area without any extra protection. But if you're camping in the winter or you're camping in really rubbish weather, then what are you gonna do? You're gonna add these. You get a couple of these. So 2 are supplied with the Halo tent, so you got 1 for each porch, and they're really, really easy to clip on. So they're just 2 clips either side and then a little peg just there. And that's just a little safe space to keep your pack and your boots and just keep it all separate from the dry kit that you want on the inside of your tent. On the inside then, you've got a 70 denier polyester ground sheet, which has a hydrostatic head of 6,000 millimeters, which means it's strong, it's durable, and it's reliable. So you can guarantee that you're not going to get soggy on a long night, even if it's really wet. So let's talk a little bit about the pocket space on the inside. Come join me. So they've been really, really generous with the internal pocket space, because you imagine if you've got 3 people in here, you're going to have loads of little loose bits. So on either side, you've got 2 really big, generous dump pockets. So that's 4. You then have 2 pockets on the top of the tent, which are really great places to store head torches and just stuff that you need quite quickly if you need to get out in the night. You've also got 2 pockets either side, which during the day you can use as dump pockets for the doors, but when these are zipped up in the night, they make really, really good pockets for stuff like phones, toilet paper, again, stuff that you need quite quickly. So there you have it, guys. That's Vango's Halo 300, the perfect tent to be taking with you on your weekend adventures. It's got loads of room, as you've seen before, and it's really quite lightweight when you spread it between a couple of people. If, however, this shape doesn't really do it for you, then click here to have a look at our Scarfell, which is much more of a tunnel sort of shape. I will see you soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.